All right, thank you all very much for being here to share your thoughts on this hugely important issue today. We'll start on my left, since you were the first one to the table, and we'll just go down the table. How's that?
Chairperson Gray, members of the committee, thank you for hearing my testimony today. My name is Jason Lemieux. I'm a resident of Ward 1 and the Director of Government Affairs at the Center for Inquiry, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing science, reason, and secular values. I come to speak in support of Bill 23-0171, the Minor Consent for Vaccination Amendment Act. This legislation will protect children, and especially medically vulnerable children, from communicable, often life-threatening diseases. Vaccines are one of the most effective public health developments in human history. In almost no other case has a medical invention spared so many people from so much suffering at so little cost. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in the lifetime of children who are born from 1994 to 2018, vaccination will prevent an estimated 936,000 deaths and 26.8 million hospitalizations. And while no medical treatment is entirely without risk, vaccines are one of the safest medical treatments available today. And as has been pointed out, high rates of vaccination protect the most vulnerable residents of the district, especially those of us who can't receive vaccinations for legitimate medical reasons, such as children with severe allergic reactions, cancer survivors whose immune systems have been weakened by chemotherapy, people living with severe autoimmune disorders. These are examples of the people who are placed in the most danger when our society fails to sufficiently immunize. So this bill respects the very human sense of self-preservation that drives adolescents and teenagers to seek information about their health care from medical professionals, and it recognizes the virtue and the sense of responsibility in those who seek to do their part to contribute to herd immunity by being immunized. I recognize that there's a concern about the right of parents to guide decisions about their children's health care. But we must never forget that children also have rights, and these rights are held in trust by parents and guardians. And so, of course, we usually defer to parents, but we do so within limits that are meant to protect children's human rights. So that's why, in the face of a concerted disinformation campaign that has resulted in hundreds being unnecessarily sickened and countless more people being placed at risk, the Center for Inquiry supports empowering minors who are concerned about their health to be immunized for their sake and the sake of their fellow citizens. So if passed and signed into law, this legislation can make a difference. Research published in the Journal of School Health has shown that parental consent requirements do sometimes act as a barrier to the success of school-based vaccination programs, and in locales where parental consent is not required, most adolescents do give their own consent for vaccinations. So while parents should be given the opportunity to consent to their child's vaccines, adolescent minors should be allowed to consent for themselves when a physician determines that they are able to understand the benefits and the risks of the procedure. This legislation will benefit public health while also increasing the freedom of minors and, through herd immunity, all of us to safely and meaningfully participate in public life, including public education. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you very much.